Hey guys, Mubarak here of In Penny Stock. Hope you're doing well. In this episode, I want to talk to you guys about what I believe is going to be one of the biggest cryptocurrencies out there, and that's Cardano ADA. All right, so it's already ranked number 3, and this is Coin Market Cap, and so already kind of one of the biggest that you can see. But really, what I feel is that the technology and the underlying kind of concepts that it runs at, I believe, will be something that is going to change the game. All right, so Bitcoin is always going to be number 1 because it's kind of like the legacy technology, right? It's going to be a long time, probably 10 plus years before people realize that Bitcoin is not as useful as they think. But if you look at other stocks, other investments, Bitcoin is going to be treated more so as like the store of value. All right, so that's why it's number 1. It's like the gold, right? Gold, silver, copper, that's gold. Ethereum is essentially becoming the more useful piece of technology, but the thing that really fundamentally makes Cardano or ADA probably the next biggest hit, and I believe that the price will go up to about $10, if not more, and why it's getting so much interest, is because of the concept of the proof of work or the proof of stake technology. All right, and so let me kind of go into detail about what exactly that means. All right, so all of these different cryptocurrencies are based upon a certain technology that they do, right? So either they are a platform, which means that other cryptocurrencies can kind of branch off of them, right? That's what really makes Ethereum so attractive, is that so many, if you've heard of ERC20 anywhere, that refers to a technology or a cryptocurrency that's based off of the Ethereum network. And so that's kind of how the ranking is. So Bitcoin is a legacy, Ethereum is the most useful one, right? But now even Ethereum itself is talking about how the proof of work versus the proof of stake concept that differentiates it is what is going to be changed in the future. All right, so what does that even mean? What is proof of work? What is proof of stake? So proof of work is basically cryptocurrency works on a technology, right? A protocol or a network. So it's basically a bunch of different nodes or computers or servers talking to each other, making this massive network, right? And so in order for certain new coins, essentially new ether or new Bitcoin even, to be created, it needs to be done through what's called proof of work, which is essentially just think mining. All right, so I'm not going to get into more detail of it. There's a lot here, and I'll link to some of this below because there's a lot of kind of technology behind it and a lot of concepts. But basically, you just have to think that it's something that is used for, you have to have an actual miner. All right, so what is mining? That means that you actually have a computer running using processing power and, more importantly, using electricity in order to create more coins. All right, so with Bitcoin, you have to have miners. With Ethereum, you need to have miners. And the problem with that in the long term is that even the electricity usage is still something frowned upon in the international community with, the usage of a utility, right? It causes electricity prices to go up. It leads to bad emissions. You have millionaires and billionaires like Kevin O'Leary on Shark Tank who's saying that, he's now getting more into it, but he's only getting into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies that don't hurt the environment, and with a more kind of natural, green, positive type of, mentality getting out there in the world. This whole style of mining and proof of work is going to cause a problem. So now going back to Cardano actually uses proof of stake. All right, so that's why it's such a game changer, because it's going to allow for people to be able to do what you need on a smart contract, and it has the strong technology that Ethereum has, but without, and you can see with one of the founders of Cardano is also one of the co-founders of Ethereum. But what he saw, and the reason it's going to be one of the biggest blockchains or the most successful one, is because it's going to be based off of a proof of stake consensus, which basically has to do with, if you're staking, think about it like you're at a bank, right? When you go into a savings account and you put your money there, or you give a CD, right, a certificate of deposit, and you're not allowed to touch your money for 6 months or so. That's basically the concept of staking. When to put it into, everyday terms, it's sometimes people are able to make it a little bit more intense or conceptually complicated, but really on the most basic foundation, that's what it is. All right. So when you're staking, you're basically giving your cryptocurrency or your money or whatever you're staking, right? It basically means that you're giving it up for lending. You're not changing ownership, right? So you still own it, but you're giving out permission that you're not going to use it and someone else can use it as long as it's returned. And so that's what proof of stake is. And the reason I find that that's going to be so significant is because it's proof of stake and it's going to be not as energy intensive. So all of the concepts and all of the, there's thousands of, or if not tens or hundreds of thousands of people and companies in China, in the US, around the world that are coming up with these Bitcoin miners and just using natural resources, destroying the environment, leading to more carbon emissions, using fossil fuels in order to create this energy. And by utilizing or creating something like Cardano and ADA, that's just the kind of like ticker or the acronym for the actual coin, that's going to remove that entire process. So that's why in the long term, I believe Cardano is going to be the highest type of cryptocurrency. And so I definitely recommend you check it out. You learn more about it. Again, this isn't investment advice at all because, purely just giving education, but I do believe that it has a potential of going up to $10+ and it's going to do a rise like Ethereum did or like Bitcoin did. So, if you get into it, it's definitely something of interest. It's definitely a high possibility that it does well. And it's just important to kind of keep your eye on it. All right. Like it recently made a gain just 6 hours ago, 8 hours ago, but I really believe that a lot of different funds are now getting interested into it. Look at this. The commercial arm of Cardano has announced a $100 million fund that's going to be, putting money behind companies that are working alongside Cardano. So just like how Ethereum has so much, ERC tokens behind it, now the same thing is going to happen with Cardano, and there's going to be a lot of investment pushed towards it. So keep an eye out on it, but you heard it here first. Cardano ADA, I believe, is going to shoot up. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, if you have any questions or if you have any specific cryptocurrencies that you want me to dive into, give you some analysis, feel free to reach out to me at admin, that's ADMIN, @inpennystock.com. Hope to hear from you guys soon. Take care.